It's 1979 in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, a tight-knit city of 110,000 where the Christmas season brings the community together. Westdale Mall, the city's first enclosed shopping center, is alive with holiday shoppers. But on this night, a brutal crime will unfold, leaving a mystery that will haunt the city for 4 decades. Michelle Marie Martinko was a star on the rise. At 18, she had overcome scoliosis, wearing a back brace through her early teens, transformed into a poised, stylish young woman. She was a choir member, a baton twirler, and a dreamer with plans to study interior design. On December 19th, after a choir banquet at the Sheraton Inn, she drove her family's Buick to Westdale Mall to pick up a coat on layaway, a simple errand that would be her last. Michelle was last seen alive at 9 p.m. near the jewelry store. By 4 a.m., a routine police patrol would discover a scene that would shock Cedar Rapids. Inside her car, Michelle had been stabbed 29 times in a frenzied attack, her face, neck, and chest bearing the brunt of the violence. Her white coat, now crimson, told a story of a desperate struggle. The killer left no fingerprints, no weapon, no witnesses, only traces of blood that didn't belong to Michelle. The murder of Michelle Martinko sent shockwaves through Cedar Rapids. Police launched one of the largest investigations in the city's history, interviewing over 200 people and clearing 125 potential suspects. But in 1979, forensic technology was limited. No DNA testing, no digital databases, no surveillance cameras at the mall. The case relied on witness accounts and physical evidence, and both were scarce. Michelle's parents were pillars of strength, but the loss was unbearable. Albert, a machinist, and Janet, a homemaker, kept Michelle's memory alive, pushing police to keep the case active. Their other daughter, Janelle, only 15, grappled with grief and the weight of a sister's legacy. Suspicion zeroed in on Andy Siddle, Michelle's ex-boyfriend of a few months. Their breakup in early 1979 was reportedly amicable. But Andy's emotional display at the funeral, described by some as overly dramatic, raised red flags. Detectives grilled him for hours, searching his car and apartment, but found no physical evidence linking him to the crime. Still, the community's whispers followed Andy, casting a long shadow over his life. Despite the police's efforts, leads evaporated. Albert died in 1995, Janet in 1998, both without answers. The case went cold, a lingering wound in Cedar Rapids. For Michelle's sister, Janelle, now an adult, the fight for justice became a personal mission. In 2005, forensic science offered new hope. Advances in DNA analysis allowed investigators to extract a male DNA profile from blood on Michelle's dress and the car's gearshift. The killer had left his mark, likely from a cut sustained during Michelle's fierce resistance. But when the profile was run through CODIS, the national DNA database, no matches were found. The case remained cold, but the DNA was a lifeline, preserved for future technology. By 2017, genetic genealogy was transforming cold case investigations. Cedar Rapids Police, led by Detective Larison, partnered with Parabon Nanolabs, a Virginia-based firm specializing in DNA phenotyping and genealogy. Parabon scientists uploaded the killer's DNA to GEDmatch, a public database where people share their genetic profiles to find relatives. Parabon's genealogists identified a second cousin, Brandy Jennings, whose DNA shared markers with the killer's. From there, they meticulously built a family tree, tracing lineage back to Iowa. By cross-referencing public records, birth certificates, marriage licenses, obituaries, they narrowed the suspect pool to 3 brothers in Manchester, Iowa, 25 miles from Cedar Rapids: Jerry, Donald, and Kenneth Burns. Jerry Lynn Burns, a 65-year-old businessman who owned a powder coating company, had no criminal record and no apparent connection to Michelle. To confirm the match, police needed his DNA. In a carefully orchestrated operation, they collected a discarded straw from a pizza ranch. The results were staggering. Burns' DNA matched the crime scene with a probability of 1 in 100 billion. On the 39th anniversary of Michelle's murder, Jerry Burns was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. The DNA evidence was ironclad, but questions lingered. Why Michelle? What drove a seemingly ordinary man to commit such a savage act? The trial of Jerry Burns was a clash of science and skepticism. Prosecutors laid out a meticulous case: the DNA from the crime scene, the straw, and the genealogical trail that led to Burns. The defense argued the DNA could belong to another relative or was contaminated, but offered no alternative explanation for the match. Burns' testimony was cryptic. His denial, offered no insight into his motives. His mention of the Lisa Peek case, a stabbing in Waterloo, Iowa, raised chilling speculation. Was it a slip or a deliberate red herring? Investigators found no evidence linking him to other crimes, but the comment lingered. The jury deliberated for less than 3 hours. Jerry Burns was convicted and sentenced to life in prison without parole. For Janelle Martinko, the verdict was bittersweet. At the sentencing, she spoke of her sister's courage. Michelle helped solve her own murder. Her fight left the DNA that brought justice. Michelle Martinko's case is a testament to the power of science and the persistence of those who loved her. Genetic genealogy, a tool unimaginable in 1979, gave Michelle a voice. Her struggle in those final moments left the clues that brought her killer to justice 40 years later. In Cedar Rapids, Michelle is remembered not as a victim, but as a fighter. Her legacy endures in the community she loved, in the sister who never gave up, and in the science that spoke for the silenced. What are your thoughts about this case? Tell us in the comment section below. Subscribe for more true crime stories and the bell icon to get updates of latest cases. Until then, stay safe, stay vigilant.